This is the BRK 1769 ACI smoke detector. Now you may be thinking, oh, that looks like a system smoke detector. But think again, this is actually a residential 120 volt AC hardwired unit from the 1970s. BRK made these, I'm guessing, oops, sorry about that, that was the lens cap untwisting from the, I had it wrapped around the strap. Anyway, BRK made these in the mid to late 70s, I believe, not exactly sure when, probably more like late 70s. Once again, don't exactly know when. These came after the SA-769ACI, which was their original hardwired unit, the very first hardwired unit they made. And they came right before the 1839ACI, which was a sort of a more low-profile model. It was slimmer, it wasn't as thick. It just had more of a low profile. But yeah. So, I do have an 1839 ACI, but I can't compare them because, of course, you know, it's packed away with everything else that I own. So, this unit is a very, very strange unit. I don't know, some things on this, I just don't know what BRK was thinking when they made it. Very weird. So yeah, like I said, it looks like a system detector. It looks like their 1800 series system detectors, but it is a little bit different. It's slightly bigger, and it's got a different styling on top. This is 120 volt AC powered unit, so as you can see right there, there's an LED, and there's no lens or anything. That LED, as you can see, is actually soldered directly onto the circuit board. So that's the PCB right down there. That LED has no lens or anything, it's just a hole, and that's how BRK designed it. Very strange design. On the back of the unit, you can see there's a mounting bracket, and I actually will take the bracket off. I'm going to first unplug the unit so I don't electrocute myself while I'm taking the mounting bracket off. One second, let me put the camera down. Oh, I'm so sorry about that lens cap. I wish there were a way to take that thing completely off. It just keeps hitting against the camera. Okay, so I removed the, I unplugged it, so you can see now the LED is not on anymore. Take the mounting bracket off. You'll notice the bracket looks similar to the one on the 1839 ACI, and actually it's also similar to the early versions of the SA86RAC. However, notice these two little tabs right here. That's where it's different. On the 1839 ACI, at least, I'm not sure about the 86RAC, there are 4 tabs on the perimeter of the bracket that fasten on tabs on the perimeter of the base of the unit. This one has 2 little tabs here, and they're twist lock tabs that fit in these 2 slots here, and when you twist it, they fasten into here. So it's a little bit different. So here's the back of the unit. As you can see, it's got that push-in wiring connection, just like the 1839 ACI and early versions of the SA86RAC. This is the interconnect. This one is interconnect. It has the ability to interconnect with other 1769 ACIs and possibly 1839 ACIs. I don't exactly know about that. There's a small piece right here that looks a bit like a battery drawer, but this is not a battery drawer, it's just a piece that is just there. And caution, radioactive material contains americium-241, 1 microcurie, so it's similar to the detectors of today. And of course it's an ionization detector. Here's the label right here. It's a little worn. I got this one used, so it's going to be worn. Up here, model number 1769 ACI BRK Electronics single and or multiple station smoke detector. And then this is the strip gauge, and it says use only 12 to 14 gauge solid copper wire. Now of course I don't have that, so I just shoved the cord in the holes. Probably not the safest way to do that, but that's all I had. And then right here, electrical ratings. I assume there it used to say 120 volts AC. The issue number's been scratched off, unfortunately. So, yeah. I'll go ahead and put the bracket back on. There. And like I said, I got this unit used. It actually came off of I had an individual message me on Facebook stating that they had a alarm they were replacing, and they asked if I wanted it, and I said, well, sure. So yeah, I was very happy. I've wanted one of these for a really long time, and I'm so glad I finally have one. Now, let's see, how am I going to do this? I want to show you what the inside looks like. The cover is not removable on these units. It's held on by 3 tabs, 1, 2, and then another one on the other side. And it's fastened in a way that it's not removable. You can see right there. It's just impossible to remove. So, and I mean, BRK designed it that way, so that way you wouldn't risk opening it up while it was connected and electrocuting yourself while the unit had full line voltage running through it, which is dangerous, obviously. But on the inside, I don't know how well you can see, but right there, that metal, that is the sensor right there. And then on this side, so the sensor is really big, actually. It's actually it's about the height of this entire top piece here. It's like the height of the cover, and it's actually quite large as well, as you can see right down there, the shiny piece. The horn is actually mounted sideways, so that's kind of unique. Right there's the horn, and you can see it's it's an AC electromechanical vibratory horn, and it's actually the exact same horn that is used on my 1839 ACI, and all other 1839 ACIs that I've seen, for that matter. And I'm assuming that this is the first model to feature this horn, and that this horn is made by BRK. BRK made their own horns, at least in these models, and I think this is the first model to feature this, because it's this the predecessor to these, the SA-1769AC, had a different horn, a slightly different horn. I mean, some of them had that flat horn with the sort of rim around the hole for the diaphragm, and some of them, like, I think the only one I've seen that is different is the one that Nathaniel has, that the SA-769, that has the horn that looks like a combination of a Delta alarm and a Kobishi CLB-26. That's a different case. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, so it's got that BRK AC vibratory. You'll also notice that, you know, like I mentioned about the LED being down in here, you'd think that there should be a test button right there. Well, there's not. There is a test button on this unit, but it's not on the top. It's actually on the side. So once again, a very unique design. Test button being on the side, right there. And it's actually a pretty cool design. It's like incorporated into the side vents. And there's a little bump out here that allows you to push on it. And there's actually the test switch inside of there is literally just pushing a piece of metal onto the sensor. So that's all it does. You know, kind of just like on the SA-76RS. So, yeah. You'll also notice that another thing I really like about this unit is that the cover design kind of is inspired by the SA-76RS. You'll notice that the top has that classic BRK first alert, you know, the 6 sections with the 4 rows of vents. Of course, it's smaller in diameter. The SA-76RS had 8 rows. This one only has 4. The middle section in the center here and then the hole where the test button would be on the battery power units with the 77R PCB. Of course, you got the millions of side vents on the side. That's taken from their system detectors, or maybe it inspired their system detectors. I don't know. But these side vents are the exact same as their system detectors. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and test it now. Let me first plug it back in. Make sure it's okay. Oh wait, the LED isn't on. Oh, hang on, let me put the camera down. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's working. Alright, the light is on, so let's go ahead and test it. So that's the sound it makes. Really, really loud. It has a really interesting sound. It sounds different from the FireX detectors or any other detector with the Kobishi CLB26, obviously. And I think it does sound kind of different from my 1839 ACI, which has the same horn in it, but is just maybe the way the horn is mounted, the way that it's like pointed to the side. I don't know. Let's test it again. I want to see if the LED does anything. The LED doesn't do anything, but let's get a view of the test button here. So yeah, it's really loud. This will wake you up in a fire, unlike the piezos of today. So yeah. Now, let's see. I have seen two of these in person, both in the same place. So I only saw them technically at one time. It was a few years ago. I don't exactly know how long ago. It must have been at least 2015 or 2016. I don't really know. We had just started the house hunting business. And we're looking at a house in a neighborhood kind of northeast of my neighborhood. And it was a really, really run-down house. It just needed a lot of work. But, you know, we were just looking for fun, and, you know, it was an interesting experience, I guess. But the house was laid out really differently. You'd walk in, if the door was here, you'd walk in the door. Let's see, the door was here, where this cord is. You'd walk in, the kitchen would be kind of back here. There was another room here. You'd go kind of a little to the right, and there'd be a staircase down. And then to the right up here there'd be another staircase going up. And that staircase actually had a landing that would turn up, so it kind of went like the lower staircase and the upper staircase like that, with a landing right there. Well, there was actually, when you went down that first staircase into that first floor, it wasn't really a basement area, it was more of like a first floor, because it wasn't really underground. There's one of these hanging on the ceiling, in front of like a utility closet door. And then upstairs, you went up that second floor staircase. There was one right at the top of that staircase as well, so there were two. And both of them had issues. The one on the first floor, for instance, was hanging off of its mounting bracket, hanging by the wires. And it also looked like someone had like yanked it out of the ceiling. The cover was kind of broken. I think I remember some of these side vents were missing, and it looked kind of like cracked. It kind of looked like somebody had like taken the cover and just like compressed it or something, and it had cracked. But yeah, it had issues. The LED was not lit, so it wasn't working, obviously. And then the one on the second floor was mounted correctly, and it wasn't broken, but the LED still wasn't lit, so obviously neither of them were working. But you know, they were my first ones I ever saw in person, and you know, these are very interesting detectors. I really like them. Ever since I saw Cassette Master's video, which was the very first video I saw that featured one of these, I just thought they were so cool. So, let's test it once more. Oh wait, the LED went out. Hang on. Test it once more. Having problems. The wires are loose, I think. Okay, let's try that again. So yeah, I really like the sound it makes. It's a really cool sound. And this is such a unique looking detector. I love the style of it. I love the way it looks. Just such a weird detector. I can't get over how strange this thing is. So yeah, one of BRK's most obscure residential detectors they ever made, the 1769 ACI, 120 volt AC powered smoke detector. One more test. Alright, thank you for watching. More to come.